Hello viewers from wherever you're watching us from. You're watching QTV, the Gambia's first private TV station, and we are broadcasting from our studios here on Kairaba Avenue. My name is Aliou Cisse, and it's a pleasure to be back here. I'm here with my co-host, Sidi Cisse. Sidi.
Thank you very much, Aliou.
Well, thank you very much, Sidi Cisse. Like I said, our guest tonight is nobody but Honorable Bilaji Tunkara, who is the National Assembly member for Kantora constituency in the Upper River region. Well, Honorable Tunkara was first elected in 2017 as the representative of the people of Kantora constituency and was re-elected this year in April when Gambians went to the polls to vote in a parliamentary election. He is currently the majority leader in the parliament and also the head of the Gambia's delegation to the ECOWAS parliament. Honorable Tunkara, good to have you on this.
Thank you very much, Mr. Aliou Cisse, and it's a pleasure to come and be on your program tonight.
Yes, like I said, you were re-elected, together with other MPs in April, even though we know we have new faces in the parliament now. After the election, there was an induction. This is the second time, you had participated in such a ceremony. How will you compare this year's induction and the one you had first in 2017?
Thank you very much for that wonderful question. First of all, I would like to congratulate you, for always pioneering or championing parliamentary affairs in your programs. The induction training we had this time around compared to the 2017 induction training, if you look at 2017 induction training, it was more intensive, more rigorous, noting the fact that there was what I call a tsunami in Parliament, whereby majority of members, all members in Parliament were wiped out from Parliament. So you have a complete, almost 80%, new face in Parliament. So therefore, it justifies every reason why Parliament should really prioritize training of new NAMs for them to be obeyed on their roles and responsibility, legislative functions, and oversight as well. Compared to this year, we want to give thanks and gratitude to CPA, Commonwealth Parliamentary Association, and of course the National Audit Office, Goodluck Jonathan Foundation from Nigeria, that come to our aid, knowing that of course we do have returnees in Parliament, but if you look at the new members, it's really outweigh the old members. So therefore, it justifies as well for Parliament to really intensify its training. So far, so good. We're opportune to have Parliament champion it first, to have an induction training, which was followed by the CPA, and third one was also pioneered and championed by Goodluck Jonathan Foundation.
And looking at the various aspects of these trainings programs for the Parliament, how do you think this is going to impact on the work of the National Assembly members, particularly the new ones?
Well, you should know that for a member of Parliament or people's representative to perform to expectation, he or she must be well informed. For you to be able to make informed decision, you should also be well equipped with your terms of reference as a people's representative. So it all boils down to capacity building, because Parliament is an institution of its own. Even if you bag BSc or MA in whatever, when you come there, you have to learn afresh. It is an institution that require a total, induction on its modus of operandi. So basically, when we take these things seriously, it really have a very huge impact on our day-to-day execution of our function, representative and oversight on government.
And when you look at from the day they were elected and they were sworn in, how do you look at how do you view the current Parliament from that period to now? I know it's a combination of old guards and the new ones.
Mm-hmm. Well, Parliament, I would describe as a hung Parliament. That is, we don't have an absolute majority there, looking at the composition of the both sides, both the majority and the minority side. Well, for now, Parliament hasn't really been engaged in any serious business. We are ongoing training here and there, committee operations, but we're not really, the new members are not really tested on a proper, legislative business in Parliament. So some of them has no idea about how to pass a bill or how the bill comes in. So I wouldn't really assess the performance compared to the previous one, because that was too premature. But what I know is that we are really overwhelmed with training, and right now it manifests in the way and manner in the way they handle their committee operations. Many of them are now new chairmen of committees, heading different committees, and they are doing well. You can see it on the online. Parliament is now going online to show its proceedings, on Facebook Live. So basically, the operation has really changed, and we hope and pray the induction training that we benefited, they will make basis of it and execute their function properly.
I'll bring in my co-host, Siri. I know.
Thank you very much, Aliu, and thank you very much, Honorable, for honoring our invitation. I'll shift my gear to the controversial bill recently that we had. What do you make of the reaction of the public, the outcry, when it comes to the clothing allowance that's been, given to the non-members? 100,000 a year.
Thank you.
Just to be clear.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Mr. Sidi Sise, for that wonderful question. I think we owe it to the public to make them understand that we are all yearning for a parliament, that is robust, a parliament that is independent, a parliament, that people can actually look up for. So basically, we know how parliamentarians have been, suffering, during the Jajambe era. So we need a dignified parliament, whereby when a member of parliament is going to office, he look decent, because they are always exposed in traveling to meet their counterpart member of parliament. So to dignify parliament, $100,000 was proposed, that when they come from campaign, is always important to help them settle. Because when we start, this new legislature, that is 6th legislature, we have seen members of parliament coming on tracksuit to come to parliament. I told the person that this is not a good dress code for parliament. And remember, parliament passed a dress code of conduct. Not every dress you can put on to come to parliament. So the rationale behind is, when they come to parliament, then this is a starter for them to make sure.
So is that an excuse for taxpayers to foot that bill? Imagine a classroom teacher, and of course he's standing in front of students, has to be in a formal dress. He's not giving clothing allowance, is he?
Mr. Sister, you cannot compare a parliamentary job to a classroom teacher.
Why?
If you do that, this is an aberration to the second arm of government. Because this member of parliament, that they represent us there, we charge them with an enormous responsibility. I told you that it's something that we should try to dignify the image of parliament. And in doing that, you need them to be well off in terms of their outlook. Because you cannot be expecting them to put on the rags and come and sit before television, national television, and be discussing matters. And the $100,000 you guys are talking about, it is...
it's the people.
It's a one, okay, yeah, it's one-off payment.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
It's a one-off payment. It's not as if it's annually. No, it's one-off payment for the next 5 years.
That's your time.
If you calculate it monthly, it means that you are collecting $1,660.
Did any of you parliamentarians rejected that, or you all collected it?
This was not passed by this current.
No. I'm what I want to find out.
Nobody said. Or nobody against the proposal in the 5th legislature. People that are talking, I was surprised when I saw former members talking about it. It is approved, in parliament when they were there, and they never raised an eyebrow to that. So I'm surprised why are they blowing out of proportion, misleading public.
It's like, for me, and I guess many other people cannot comprehend the fact that we all know, as far as the world economy is concerned, we are in troubling times.
Yes.
Our economy is contrasting. Yeah. Our GDP, we are struggling with all what had happened, the pandemic, the wars and all that. And then you may have it in your budget line, but you didn't think it is that by now you should have been thinking of suspending that sort of allowance and focus on other things that matters more. As far as the National Assembly is concerned?
Well, we understand that we're in a difficult situation looking at the international politics and the crisis all over the world. But I told you that this law was passed in anticipation of having a new parliament coming.
I understand that. It could be in the budget line.
Yeah.
But is it possible to suspend it?
Suspend and do what? Because when we see new members of parliament that are struggling to settle down, why would you suspend? At that time, it is only ideal to execute it and give it to them so that they can be settled and come to parliament.
I don't think they need a seed money to come to parliament. But quickly, apart from the clothing allowance,
yes.
what other benefits, is in the package for you guys? Are you having a fleet of cars? Let's know that.
Exactly.
Let's know whether you have a fleet of cars.
Exactly.
Or is some land
I understand, because in 2017, they were giving pickups.
Yes.
And I understand, new fleet of vehicles are also coming for the National Assembly. This
Let's
time,
find
this
out.
time not pickups.
Let's find out.
Yeah.
You are the
Let's find
leader.
out.
Anyway, as I told you, it all boiled down to dignifying the parliament. And
allow him to land. Please see the allow him to land.
Okay.
Yes, go.
it does not really tell well for a member of parliament standing on a queue or on the roadside begging for a lift or trying to get to be transported to parliament. You see, you guys should not look at only the monetary aspect of it, but think about the functions given to them. Think about the roles and responsibility given to them. They are representing people in a higher capacity. This is the most second important office in the land.
Listen.
I'm coming.
But I'm not going to allow you to go. A police officer, a police constable is going home with less than $3,000 after every benefit.
Yes.
Okay?
Okay.
Saving lives and property.
Yes.
You are telling me when you are campaigning, going back to your people to ask for their votes, you are walking on your foot. You were in a transport.
Yes.
Why can't you use that transport to go to the National Assembly?
As I told you, these are two different portfolios that you can't compare. You see, in compare and contrast, you look at jobs or things that are like similar, but these are different category of office occupied. Let me call this is not peculiar, or it's not as if it's now about unique to Gambia. Everywhere you go, vehicles are allocated to member of parliament to ease the transport from their home to the office. You understand? In fact, we should even applaud these progressive laws or this progressive approach in terms of creating mobility. Now, before it is to be like getting this thing from government, but we are now saying that the member of parliament should, in a way of contributing in the form of loan, to pay this new vehicle, and they can be using it from their home to the office.
I think Ali will come in here.
Yes,
but quickly, I just want to say right here, the whole idea of parliamentary representation is not taxation without representation.
That's right.
And I think, honestly, you guys have to do away with that.
No.
What you are actually doing, if I can borrow this Kaur, phrase, Kaur Sada. Okay. You bring it and you take it for yourself.
Okay.
Ali, you can write.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just want to know. You keep emphasizing, you want to see a dignified parliament. You want to see a dignified National Assembly members. But you are there representing people who are suffering, who are struggling to put food on the table, and you are there comfortable driving in a luxurious vehicle, and you say you are representing them.
Thank you.
How do you justify that?
Thank you very much.
How do you go back to people and say, I'm representing you in that?
Thank you very much. As I told you, this is an office that every single citizen should really make sure that they are given the adequate amount of resources they need in order to carry out their job effectively. Creating these vehicles or trying to purchase the vehicle from member of parliament, you are saving a lot for the state, because you don't expect them, to be going around asking for lift. You don't expect them to be asking for favor from the executive. You are saying you want to hold government to account. You must be given every opportunity, every resource you need to make sure that you hold government to account. Our people to represent. And it boils down to that. Once you have mobility, it is that transport sector from the office to the electorate to always go there and know their issues, know their cry, and come to parliament and relay it. The role there is advocacy now. You are not trying to advocate their plight. And the thing that will help you there is this of mobility. But if you discourage mobility, you are detaching member of parliament from their constituency.
From the experience that we saw in 2017, when you had your pickups, after a week, it's all gone tinted. They never came into this country tinted.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
When you receive your pickup, it was not tinted.
Yes.
After 2 weeks, it was tinted.
Yes.
And you are telling me you are representing the people. I want to see my representative in his car passing my house.
In fact, you are right. I want to know, you are not procuring new vehicles.
Yes.
What happened to the old ones that you were given in 2017?
Okay, thank you very much for that question. Should I start with yours?
Yes, answer mine.
Yes.
I missed it.
You see, these are tinted or not tinted.
No, the tinted is just not an issue.
Yeah.
Because you are telling me having those vehicles is to ease, mobility.
Mobility.
Going back to your people. I have seen National Assembly members from 2017, when they were giving those pickups, they tinted it. They go into their communities, they don't even know who is sitting in their car.
Yeah.
So what's that vehicle meant for? A vehicle meant to come to me. In fact, you are in that vehicle, I can't even see you.
Well, it all boils down to the way you perceive things, no? Tinting the glasses, to some people, they have a good reason for doing that. Some people also, not living it transparently, have good reason of doing that. But this tinted issue is the least I would already dwell on, because it's about personal security, whatever you might call it. I'm coming.
Okay.
Some of them probably might really involve in an extensive business in Parliament or go against a particular bill. So when they are driving by, I'm just giving my own my opinion. When they know that this particular MP is in this car, he could be bullied on the way or try to say something. So an other might say, okay, when I am in the car, people, when they see me and I'm there making noise or attacking the department or attacking parastatals and doesn't really go down with well, it might be a security issue, some might be comfort, but depending on the intention you want to use a tinted for. What is important, tinted or not tinted, you are supposed to go to your constituency, have meeting with them, always be at their aid, let them have an access to you. What is important, we should advocate, CSOs should advocate that there is this community outreach program, members of Parliament to be more connected to their constituency.
Hardly any of you from 2017 have even had an office.
Yes.
Constituency office.
That is a serious allegation. I myself.
You may have, but tons of them don't have. All they did is to transform their political bureaus to office. That is not the issue.
Yes.
You don't expect, for example, Mr. Sisi Aliu to be an MPP MP from Dongoro and choose to use yes, Dongoroba, yes, of course. I taught in your village. So, to transform an MPP office or bureau to an office.
Yeah.
You may not be an MPP supporter and you want to come and see your parliamentarian.
Okay, now, me, I don't see it. But what's wrong with the person tinting his office or trying to paint his office an NPP?
No.
You should not side from your party color. This is politics.
Okay, now
you are representing
Honorable. What is clear is you are giving allowance.
Yes.
You had money.
Yes.
There's a budget line that to maintain that office.
Yes.
That money is not to maintain an MPP office, a UDP office.
You are not given money to maintain that office. There is no single money.
No, but you are giving money.
There is no single money allocated.
What is the allowance that you receive?
I'm coming. There is no
allowance.
No, I'm coming.
Yeah, 275,000.
No. I'm coming.
Yes.
There is no single money given to you to construct office in your constituency.
We are not saying to
I'm coming, or even to manage an office in your constituency. It is not. What is given to you is called constituency travel allowances.
That's how much?
To help you, every month you have 10,000 to ferry you from the office to your constituency.
Is that happening?
Of course it's happening.
Honorable,
like me, tomorrow I'm leaving for Kantora. You know what I mean?
Every month you take 10,000 to go home.
For fuel.
For fuel, 10,000.
You are paying the MP for a monthly travel to office and constituency, 10,000.
But we all know in your area,
yes,
a little office will not cost $2,000 for a month.
You don't understand. You're not paying the office.
No, but
it's your
that's a
transport
need. Yeah, I know that's your transport.
Yes.
But you will not spend $10,000 on fuel.
I am spending $12,000.
You have your family there. We cannot maintain you visiting your family.
It's not family.
No.
It's not family. We must cruising from here to Kantora.
No, listen. Your family is in Kantora. If you have to go and see your family, you should foot your bill.
Yeah, I'm not going there.
I want to know.
In fact, I'm answering a call of constituency.
Exactly. Honorable, I will be specific here tomorrow to you. I know this will apply to all the other MPs.
Yes.
Since you were elected,
have
you at any point went around your constituency to engage with them to know what their concerns are?
Thank you very much, Mr. Sise. Now you're asking real questions.
Yes.
To be honest, during the campaign, any community I go, I visit, there are concerns they normally raise. And I have a secretary that not always concerned for me. Okay. And that creates my constituency needs that I should advocate in Parliament. When I go to my constituency, I try the two words. I try as much as I can within the few days I was spending there to make sure I go and see them. Those needs that they normally explain to me when I come to Parliament during my adjournment debate, I make sure I debate extensively, convincing government the need for intervention. Because my role here is to come and legislate law, to some extent also advocacy role, to let government know that they need to redraft or try to commit policies that would have a positive impact on my people. It's not all about sitting in office asking minister to go and draw policies. No. When I always said in the Parliament that if you come as a minister, you don't need to even go around to the country. Come to Parliament and sit on adjournment debate and listen to MPs. Concerns raised, that will even inform your policy direction as a ministry. Because we are saying direct concerns of our people in Parliament. These are raw facts. Even if you go there, that is the status quo. So we normally go there. I go there and then engage them. In fact, I'm having a very big rally next tomorrow, Saturday, where concerns also will come up. We'll take note of those things. When I come back, we'll see how best we can push it with the ministers.
Still back to my question. In 2017, you were all given pickups.
Yes.
What happened to those pickups?
Well, 2017 pickups were more of a donation by a gift.
An anonymous donor?
I'm not from the executive. Okay. We receive it from the executive. I don't know from which donor. But Parliament receive this pickup through the executive to Parliament. Okay. And it's now been distributed to us, which I was a beneficiary, I took, and we use it after 5 years. Okay. These are not taxpayers' money, and that was why, at the end of the day, the Committee on Privilege and Ethics did write to the authorities of Parliament that what is the state of affairs now, this vehicle, after 5 years now. Parliament took a decision that hence it was a gift to the Parliament. The authorities sat over it and then begin to say, everybody, you can take your vehicle.
Do you think that was right, Honorable? Do you think that was right as a National Assembly to receive gifts? You don't know who the source is.
Let me add this to it.
Exactly.
At the time you received those vehicles, you are UDP, right?
Yes.
You were a UDP parliamentarian.
Yes, at that time.
That includes many of your parliamentarians as well.
Yeah, 31 of us.
Yes, and it was very clear that when you come to the insurance content of the vehicle.
The vehicle, yes.
Was President Barrow who insured the vehicles?
National Assembly.
National Assembly.
Was it National Assembly?
Yes, I can bring you a copy.
Okay. Okay. Now that we have seen something different.
Yes.
You kept the vehicles, including everyone else.
Yes.
How do you justify that?
Well, is it Parliament? Authority of Parliament is the governing body of Parliament.
No. The Parliament can decide this, but morally,
yes, exactly,
the moral ethic of keeping that vehicle.
Yes.
When you are now going out
yes,
to buy other vehicles
yes,
for other National Assembly members.
Well, I can tell you...
and I'm sure you're going to get a new vehicle too.
He's the majority leader.
It's not about
being the majority leader.
It's not about being a majority leader or whatever. Every member of Parliament will certainly have a vehicle, and plus the official vehicle.
In fact, he already got one, yes. I can confirm.
Yes, of course. That is the
one in
the portfolio.
Majority leader, that's it.
3.
That's what Assembly.
Yes, that is the portfolio I'm holding. You understand? It's not Billy Tungara per se, but it's the office.
It's the office.
You understand? It's not given to me. It is given to the office I'm occupying. You understand? So, coming to your question, we understand that there are so many, public perception or public outcry about this issue of this vehicle. And that is why we want to do it different this time around, to make sure that members of Parliament apply this thing and get 50% write-off from government, like a car loan sort of. This is normal.
What do you mean 50% write-off what? That 50% gift?
Free. You don't understand what I'm saying.
That's why I'm asking. I don't understand.
Yeah. In government, yes. these are incentives they normally give to civil servants.
Anyway,
Yeah.
Incentive, non-incentives, is that a gift? Let's just be simple.
It's not a gift per
simplified.
se. It's a counterpart contribution from the executive.
You are giving a counterpart contribution.
Yes.
And that you are not going to contribute back.
You are contributor of course, the 50% is from you,
Yes.
50% from government.
So what is from the government?
Yes.
What is the one from the 50% from the government?
Yes.
Who is
Taxpayers'
paying
money.
that?
Taxpayers.
Is it
You
taxpayers?
don't understand, Mr. Sise. These are incentive.
I am not getting an incentive.
But Honorable,
Ali
we
is
don't
not
really
getting an
understand.
incentive.
Yes.
From clothing allowance,
Yes.
you are getting clothing allowance. Now you're talking about incentive for vehicle again? Honorable.
No, come on.
Incentive, basically,
Honorable.
they are getting it for free.
You don't understand. You don't understand this.
You have not even done 6 months in the assembly.
You
are getting an incentive?
Are you happy that members of parliament trekking to the office?
I am very
How
happy
many people
to
are
use a
trekking?
bicycle.
Stickers are trekking.
I'm
Soldiers
even happy for them to use a
You
bicycle.
don't give example of
Because
no,
you
no,
know why?
no.
You know why? You know why?
Eh.
When each of you came to us to ask for our votes, you cried to us
Yes.
that you want to make this country different.
That is why.
And you are not making this country different, but making your life different.
You don't understand, Sise.
No, it's not like I'm not understanding. That is what is happening, Billy.
No, Mr. Sise. You see, let me tell you. You gave us the vote for us to go and represent you there. For us to do our job effectively and efficiently, we need to be mobile. We need to have certain tools with us to make sure we do the job. You don't expect me to go and attend a sitting at 9 o'clock when I'm still standing at Westfield store.
But a doctor who should look after a patient at 7 o'clock appointment at RVH?
Yeah, no, Edward Francis.
Edward Francis Teaching Hospital.
Even
they
the
call it
security
now.
personnel, the police, the
there.
soldiers.
Yes,
A mother in labor,
yes,
the midwife has to be there.
yes.
You and I will not think about how she get there. But I have to sit here and think about how you, as a National Assembly member,
Do you know
with all your privileges from your so-called sponsors,
which
cannot get-
sponsors?
all of you, when you come out there, you pretend that you got, an arm and a leg.
No, Sise, let's get back to this issue. Yeah.
It's important.
I don't want you guys to be seeing this thing as if Parliament is now acting out of, conscience. These are things that, common sense would tell you that these members of Parliament need this thing for their operations.
Okay, now, Honorable, just to
You
make
need
this
this
very
vehicle for
clear.
operation.
Okay, now, to make this
You
see,
walk in
see,
here.
allow me to come in.
I'm coming. You walk in here.
I'm not working. Let me make this clear, Billy.
Okay, yeah.
I am a volunteer here. I don't get paid here.
Yes.
I am always coming here. I'm driving a 6-cylinder vehicle.
Yes.
I pay my fuel to come here and give the little knowledge I have to this country, free of charge.
Yes.
And you don't want to do that.
Congratulations, Siri, for doing
Don't
that.
say
Now,
you don't
Honorable,
want to do that.
now, Honorable.
These
now,
are two portfolios, different. You should understand that, we have to respect the Parliament
I accept.
and make it more dignified.
No problem.
Okay, now,
But
Honorable.
if you are now saying that, try to caricature these little things that clothing allowances.
These are not little things.
Of
Honorable,
course.
these are not little things.
These are basic things that, of course, we don't expect
Do you know?
guys.
Do you know how many people are going to bed without a
Listen
meal?
to me, CD. We don't expect you guys to be anti this progress.
We are not
No,
anti.
we are not
We are
anti.
justifying.
Exactly.
No,
we just
we
want
are
to
not
justify
anti.
the reason for allocating yourself
it
all these
justifiable?
Is
benefits.
1,600 enough?
Wait.
Is 1,600
No,
enough for clothing?
no. Listen to me.
It's not.
No, it doesn't. Listen, for me,
And
I'm an employer.
Okay. Yeah.
I have people working for me. I give incentives. But I give incentives to people who have worked and they have delivered.
Yes.
You guys have not delivered yet.
Don't
You
say
just
that.
been in office.
Don't say that.
You told us here that they have not been, your assembly have not been challenged seriously yet.
Yes. That's
You've
true.
not been challenged yet. And
But
now they are
that
giving.
doesn't mean that you won't be challenged.
No, but when you challenge, then we know your performance.
But then
we don't know your performance
you
yet.
have to create these basic things for them to work for you guys. City. Let's accept that.
Let's move on.
Let's move on. But
Yes.
I guess,
But I'm disappointed. People blowing this thing out of proportion.
Honorable,
I want justification. And I say, let's move on. You want to come back?
let's go with that
move
break.
on.
Well, viewers, you're watching QTV instead of affairs here on QTV. We're broadcasting from our studios here on Haraba Avenue. My name is Ali Usise. And our guest tonight is nobody but Honorable Bilaji Tungara, the National Assembly member for Kantora constituency, who is also the majority leader and the head of the Gambia's delegates to the ECOWAS Parliament. We'll go for a short break and we'll be back soon.
Looking for the fastest and easiest way to receive money transfers from abroad? Well, QMoney and RIA just made it happen. Now you can receive international money transfer from RIA directly into your QMoney account with no additional cost. Once you receive an SMS alert about your transfer, walk into any Q-Money agent across the country to receive your payment for free or use the money immediately to buy credit, Q-Power and other Q-Money services. It's fast, safe and convenient. For more info, call customer care on 133. Q-Money, Sinu Calpe. Terms and conditions apply.
Hello viewers, welcome back from that short break. You're still watching State of Affairs here on QTV, the Gambia's first private TV station. My name is Aliou Cisse, and our guest this week is Honorable Bilaji Tunkara. Honorable, let's talk about the new fleet of vehicles you are expecting. You talk about 50% rate off, counterpart contribution. Make us understand, what do you mean by counterpart contribution? Does it mean at the end of your term, you're going with that vehicle without 50% from government, which is taxpayers' money?
Thank you very much. When you follow Parliament proceeding, in the 5th legislature, there was an attempt to save about 58 million, that will be saved for members of Parliament to have it as a car loan. But then along the way, this thing has been challenged by court. This thing was moved by Yakumba Jaite, but of course it doesn't really pass through, because the court are of the conviction that we cannot create a new borderline item in the floor of the House that was not initiated by government. Now, we are now in a situation whereby, how do we create mobility for our members of Parliament? People, even though it was with a good intention that executive sympathize with the condition of members of Parliament, for us to dignify our Parliament, for us to accord them with the maximum respect they deserve to represent us in Parliament, they look around and come up with this thing. Of course, in the eye of the law, you can't say that it's nice, because you are also challenged with how do you protect the integrity of Parliament, how do you also make sure that Parliament is not being micromanaged or used by somebody because of I do a favor. To run away from all that, we said now, let's use our own national resources to help create mobility for members of Parliament. Now, government has a policy. You understand? The private sector is completely different from the public sector. To retain and appreciate the sacrifice of people serving in government, there are so many privileges that a private sector might benefit in the private sector, which government civil servant does not really benefit. So in order to also encourage them that there is a hope at the end of the tunnel, is to create some of these things for them to be retained in the system, and for them to make sure that they work toward achieving the set goals of government. Probably, I'm surprised that this is new to you, but these are, policies. If you go to the level of Minister of Finance, you find it there, that government try to, encourage their workers by creating certain incentive that, okay, if you're a director or if you're a minister, we can give you a car loan. And the car loan, this is the arrangement. In as much as we appreciate the service you are rendering to us, we would try to make sure that the state also contribute to the service you're rendering. So that is why they come up with the 50% write-off.
So what happened to the vehicle? Okay.
I'm coming.
Yes.
So the 50% write-off, the members of Parliament are deducting from their take-home to contribute to this thing.
That's 50%?
Yes.
Okay.
And the other 50% come government.
Okay.
So this is an act of Parliament.
At the end of
exactly. At the end of your term,
at the end of the term,
what happened to the vehicle?
That is why I said it's to encourage and motivate workers.
No, at the end of the time, what happened?
I'm coming.
Okay, I want to say one thing.
Allow him.
Yeah, at the end of the day, yes. We are being factual here.
Yeah.
The lesson is watching us.
Exactly.
Yes.
So we have to be more transparent.
Exactly.
So at the end of the day, you own the vehicle.
Oh, really?
Yes.
You're going with 50%.
Come on.
Maybe next time you should contest election.
I can tell you, President, that vehicle that you are expecting is more than $1 million, Honorable. Am I right?
Well, I'm not part of the contracts committee. I don't know.
Okay.
It was.
All right. What I want to say here, Aliou, and Honorable, when you talk about all these incentives and all privileges and all that, do you think about cost effectiveness? All of you, I can bet my bottom dollar that you all live from Brikama down.
Okay.
scrap that individual vehicle, get a minivan. You don't sit until 10 o'clock in the morning. Already you have a couple of minivans at the National Assembly.
Do you know?
It can ferry from Brikama, from Gunjur, and bring you down. All the National Assembly members is from Gunjur right down to Banjul. You get a minivan. We are saving millions on fuel. We are saving millions on maintenance. We are saving millions on a lot of things. And that millions will go back to create jobs for people.
Yeah, in terms of cost effectiveness, thank you for coming with that. But you get it wrong, because some are even coming from Nyomi. They cross and come to Parliament. We have no Parliament.
That's what I'm saying. You're getting a minivan from the terminal. They bring them.
So it's not about try to, jam pack them in a minivan and ferry them.
It's not jam packed.
Yeah.
Come on.
I'm just coming. I'm coming. So you see, I want you to see. Don't look at the vehicle component or that they are entitled.
I'm not looking at the vehicle. I'm looking at the cost effectiveness.
Yes, but then also, this vehicle cost effectiveness is at no cost of government. The arrangement is that they themselves buy their fuel. It's not maintenance by government, neither by Parliament. Its maintenance, its fuel, its servicing is at the detriment of the MP.
All they get is the 50%.
Yeah, that's all.
Can you advocate for a similar 50%? No, let me tell you. Let me say this, sorry. Can you advocate for a similar 50% for the low-grade workers in this country? Our nurses, our police officers, our firemen and women, young men and women who are out there working day in, day out, taking very mega.
Thank you very much. In fact, that reminds me, probably we'll be convening an extraordinary session very soon. Government has made a proclamation, a pronouncement about its intention to increase salary. Because
it will start this month, July.
I'm coming.
And now people are waiting.
I know. You didn't bring it up. So
yeah, but I will
part of our question.
Exactly, because we will have asked the question.
Okay, let me not attempt that until you ask.
Yeah.
So basically, the cost effectiveness of advocacy for the people, low-income earners, there's something in the pipeline. So when you get down to your question, I will try to elucidate on that.
Now that you've talked about it, elaborate, and not only talking about, advocating for the 50%. We want to see cheap housing in this country.
Yeah.
I mean, Billy, do you know that there are families of 7, 8 sitting in one room in this country?
Sure.
Yes, 100%.
Sure.
It's serious.
Sure.
People are beginning to live in the streets in this country.
You see, I want to thank government of the day, His Excellency President Ambaro,
your party
for
leader.
having, yes, my party leader, for having the foresight to create this issue of salary increment. We are yet to have a discussion with the minister in the modalities he want to execute it. Is it based on percentage level or is it based on grading system?
What?
I'm coming because we had an experience last Parliament whereby it was cut across all 50%, and history has shown that it favored the higher income earners. So this time around, Parliament want to take due diligence to make sure that the idea is not defeated, to make sure that there is that gap closure between the grade 1, grade 2, grade 3.
Are you guys not putting the cart before the horse? Because I think what needs to be done, this is my opinion, right? You may disagree. Not actually my opinion. This is a talk because somebody said I cannot say opinion. But I tell you, sometimes I'm not a journalist. Right. You need to have a review of the salaries in this country, wages, and we need to come with a law that makes sure that we have what is called minimum wage. Until and unless you do minimum wage, I'm telling you, even my grandchild will be in this country struggling.
Thank you very much, Mr. Sise. I think PMO has done extensively well. They are coming up with something. They have revisited, they have studied everything. Whenever it's been led to Parliament, we'll now see the mechanism they intend to do to execute this thing. Because they have really done a thorough study about the salary system, and when they bring to Parliament, we will now look at whether there is a minimum wage bracket that you cannot pay anybody less than $3,000 in Gambia, because looking at the level of inflation,
cost of living,
and co. So we'll arrive at something. So I am really.
There must be a law, just because looking at it, we tick the box. I want to have a national policy.
Yeah.
And you guys, are you advocating for your vehicles advocating. Very soon they'll get an estate too.
Yeah.
Before you advocate for all that, don't forget.
Right. They were also given houses.
I mean, he had one. He may have a second one soon. No, I mean, he's my cousin. You know, Sarawis are my cousin. But on a serious note, Billy, let's look at this seriously.
Yeah.
This, you know, I mean, this will be the biggest success of your party, of your government, the legacy of your leadership. And that is to put across a legal framework that will bring minimum wage in this country for once and for all. And that will bring the joy that all of us have been asking for.
But rest assured, the leadership of His Excellency will definitely work towards that. Because someone who has the vision that, okay, looking at the level of inflation and looking at the salary structure in this country is nothing to be envy of. So basically, we hope and pray with the new salary increment, we look at it from that perspective. What is the minimum wage here? You know, once PMO factor that, how much grade 1 earning, how much grade 2 earning. So when we do that, then look at the market value of it. Then we'll try to have a compromise whereby at least the least or the minimum wage that is paid to an employee would really earn a living.
Most come as an act of parliament. This is what I'm saying. You know, don't put the cart before the horse. Don't just go and say, okay, let's give you 1 butut, 2 butut. We are sick and tired of that. Since Sadauda, we had add 1 butut, add 2 butut, add 3 butut. We are sick of that. What we want to see is a legal framework, a policy, where it is established and sealed and signed.
Of course.
That a minimum wage is in this country.
We are progressive
so that people are not exploited.
Yeah, we are progressive
Tons of workers in this country are exploited. No, you go to work, at the end of the month, you cannot get yourself a bag of rice.
We are progressive.
How can you do away with corruption?
Yeah, we are progressive people, and we think progressively. We are optimistic, and this thing could really happen in a very short period of time. I'm not only concerned about the government, public sector. We need to regulate even the private sector.
No, when we say minimum wage, it's abroad.
I know. Yeah, so of course. That law coming into force, you know, it will now send a signal.
Everybody.
It's sending a signal to the private sector that government is now putting a minimum wage, which means even at the private sector, I cannot employ a Gambian, pay him less than this amount. So it's a right step in the right direction as well.
Honorable, if I get you right, I really want to know, are you telling me the announcement made by the government that effective July, there's going to be changes in the salary structure? Are you telling me this is not possible end of this month?
Well, I'm not saying it's not possible. I said that the Parliament has been served a certificate of emergency for us to sit and work this out. And
work what out?
The salary increment bill. I mean, call it revised budget, because it's not a supplementary budget that they are looking for. They're looking for a revised budget where to reprioritize among priority areas to see how best we could have effect in the salary increment.
So this is basically what you guys are going to do is a short-term solution.
I can't say a short-term solution, but I'm telling you,
it is a short-term solution. You're not looking for a longer-term period. It hasn't come to Parliament. We have series of questions to ask. One key among them is sustainability. It's not only to pay July or whatever, how to sustain it. You must have a concrete plan in terms of sustaining this pay. You understand? So basically, we are still in July. We are optimistic that this thing will happen, July, before end of July, because Parliament will have a convergence in either 28 or 29 to make sure that this is passed into law. Because we are also very mindful that you cannot touch anything without going back to people. Would it not be ideal?
But July is almost July is gone.
Ali is very eager with this salary thing.
I'm serious. I can tell you thousands of viewers.
In as much as
Ali's bill have increased. Now it's 2 to 1.
In as much as we are eager to happen, but let's also follow due process.
No, for me,
but due process has been followed since January
for it to happen.
Yeah.
But with hindsight, I think what should be done is to defer the whole thing and then look at the whole thing holistically. Let's have a holistic look at our salary structure. Let's look at this broadly and come with a national policy in terms of making into law where we have a minimum wage standard. Considering how expensive life is in this country now.
Okay, I want to ask Honorable.
I think that's important.
Honorable,
yeah, very important.
The intention might be good on the side of the government.
Yes.
To have salary increment, to have a restructuring of the salary. But in your own thoughts, as a National Assembly member, just to be honest, do you think Gambia, as we stand, looking at the state of our economy, are we in a good position to implement this?
Well,
the intention might be there.
I'm coming. I'm not the Minister of Finance. Looking at the all economic indicators and outlook to tell you this question, answer the question right now. But we as Parliament, we as people's representatives, we are also concerned about its sustainability. So it is unless and until we are convinced beyond reasonable doubt that with our economic performance, we are okay to go for the salary increment.
Is that not a contradiction from you guys? If you are concerned about the sustainability.
No.
You know why? Yeah. Contradiction in a sense, if you are concerned about the sustainability.
Sustainability aspect.
But now you are giving yourself incentives to wipe off 50%.
Don't understand.
No.
Don't understand. This is a salary increase. No.
The contradiction is you are crying, maybe we don't have the money to do this.
No.
Yeah. But now you give yourself 50% wipe out.
This is a new element coming up.
Okay.
These are ones have been planned. These are planned things.
This was talked about.
I'm coming.
Yes.
This have been talked about, but now that's why we are going to revise the budget. In revising the budget again, there will be changes in different budget line items. So it's unless and until we look at the budget envelope and see where we can get savings and where to reallocate these things. And also be advised by the minister that with our collection and whatever economic outlook, it's okay to.
But you didn't do that with yourself. When it comes to us, you have to look at the budget.
It's not about when it comes to you.
But that's what it is. But when it comes to you people, you don't look at anything. It's okay, let's go.
No. We do look at everything. Because had it been that...
But you did not reorganize anything.
No, had it been that what we planned in the budget was not realistic, the Minister of Finance would knock it off. That I cannot fund
Maybe they are scared of you guys.
Not scared of us. They're not scared of us. This has been approved in consultation.
And it's not a honey trap, is it?
Wait, let me tell you. This is not something that Parliament woke up overnight and do it. No.
Okay.
We do.
Okay. Let's move away from this now, Honorable. How divided is your National Assembly?
Do I call it divided assembly? Well, I don't think so.
No, I just want to find out.
Yeah. I think Parliament.
You said earlier it's a hung parliament. I understand what is a hung parliament.
Yeah.
But being hung does not necessarily mean it has to be divided.
Yeah.
But my fear is the caliber of people you have in the assembly. You know, they've not been tested, but so far what we have seen is like schoolboy head boy sip competition. That's what I've seen. I've seen head boy head girl sip competition in the National Assembly.
Yes.
And I guess you know what that means.
I understand, but yes, these are new people. I was confronted with this question at Star TV, that Parliament, the way they are operating, we are afraid. I told them Parliament cannot afford to lose. This sixth legislature cannot afford to fail this country. We are duty bound. This is a clarion call for us to come and put our differences aside and see the nation first. All things being equal, we have to make sure that, you see, there's one thing we should understand. Parliament should be seen as an adversary to the state, to government. Our separation does not really mean that...
Objectively.
Yeah. So we should try it in as much as we can to put our political lens aside to see the nation first. Things that are progressive in nature, things that will catapult our country to a higher level, we should not be anti to that.
What I see, Aliu, here quickly, what I see is you said put the political lens aside and look at the national lens.
Yeah.
But what I've seen in the National Assembly, you put other lenses aside, but look at your priority lens on what you can get. And know that, when it comes to what you guys can get, there's no division. No UDP, no NRP, no DOI, no that. It's all there. You all go there and take it. When it comes to what matters to each and every one of us, that's where the cat fight starts.
Yeah, I think, as I told you, the Parliament is not really been engaged seriously in terms of matters affecting the nation. or policies or bills. So I wouldn't preempt that it's a divided parliament. It's
no, I say how divided are you?
Yeah, so basically, with this little interaction, you know, that happened or transpired between me and them, I'm really optimistic that this parliament will do all what it takes to make sure that we succeed.
Or are they already being subdued by the vehicles? And the
not the vehicles, not the vehicle, because that was, we just conducted a training by Goodluck Jonathan Foundation. And Goodluck Jonathan Foundation, Goodluck himself, His Excellency, made a pronouncement, you know, that really baffles me. He said, we have three categories of people: an idiot, a tribalist, and a citizen. That idiot only thinks of himself, that okay, and nobody else. A tribalist is concerned about the race or the ethnicity he or she come from, and he tried to manifest and promote those agendas in parliament. A citizen is more concerned by the welfare of the entire citizenry, regardless of race, ethnicity, and religion. So he encouraged government parliament to be the third, that is the citizen, as opposed the former.
You talk about...
And these things, you know, are touching as a new legislature. This is coming from a former head of state.
Exactly.
And he made us understand that
yes.
your separation of power from parliament and from executive doesn't really mean that you are completely separated. No. Your interdependence is equally important. Government cannot do without you, and you can also do without them.
I just want to come in here. You talk about people putting aside their political lands. I mean, you won on a party ticket.
Yes.
To be in the parliament.
Yeah.
How do you avoid, you know, partisan politics in parliament then?
You see, comparative parliamentary democracy, it's now becoming, bipartisan politics is now becoming talk of the day. If you look at other parliaments, people find it very difficult to eradicate bipartisan politics in parliament. It takes more of sensitization, it takes more of consensus building from the other side. What is important, you being the majority, do not think that you can do everything without them. You have to engage them, make more of consensus building, make more of consultation, put their concerns on board. So when we are doing that, definitely they will begin to understand that they're not looking at us from the political perspective, but they are also engaging us as people from the same cause. You understand? So therefore, that's why I said, in terms of this try moment, we should try. It's very difficult. We should try, in as much as we can, to put away our political differences and see this on force.
How do you work with your counterpart? I mean, the mandatory leader, Honorable Elijah Dabo, because it will start from there. You two are the leaders in the parliament. So
far, so good. Me and him, we came from the same party before, and we had a very good rapport. You have seen our interaction, of course, in ECOWAS Parliament. So it's been so cordial. Yeah. And I don't do things without him. Even this morning, I was with him.
Quickly here.
We're running out of time, please.
You know, we've seen what happened in Morocco. You know, immigrants been slaughtered. We saw a very pathetic line or two from the AU. I don't know if ECOWAS even made any statement. The Gambia Parliament, I hardly had anything such. I know we lost some Gambians there.
Yeah.
And you sit here and said your job is very important.
Yeah.
Of course it's very important.
Very important.
I don't feel it being important if my brothers are killed.
Thank you very much. This is really...
And if you can just summarize it, because we're running out of time.
Okay, this is really unfortunate instance that happened. You know, Africans killing African. You know, it's something that, you know, it doesn't really go down well with us as parliamentarians. We are representing our people, who by God's grace, they make us who we are today. And we should stand resolute to make sure that when such of things happen, we cry for them. And that really baffled me in the ECOWAS Parliament. I wanted to pass a resolution, you know, to condemn the act. And, you know, technically, based on advice from the leadership, you know, we went there and engaged
With leadership.
Thank you very much, Honorable. Thank you very
So I went there personally, to see how best we can engage them on this.
Thank you very much, Honorable Bilaji.
We'll bring you back. I'm not satisfied with the answer.
Thank you so much, Honorable Bilaji Tunkara. Well, viewers, with that, we bring an end to this week's edition of the State of Affairs program. I was your host, Sidi Sise. I was your host, Ali Sise, together with my co-host, Sidi Sise. And our guest this week was Honorable Bilaji Tunkara, National Assembly member for Kantara constituency, who is also the majority leader in Parliament and the head of the Gambia State Legislative ECOWAS Parliament. Thank you so much for watching. See you next week. Bye-bye.